Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video on the channel. Jay here from Jay's Tech. And in this video, we're going to be comparing basically the Pro and the Pro Max. Which one should you buy? This has not been a question which a lot of reviewers are answering at the moment. There has been a few videos circulating on YouTube, but actually a lot of people are talking about the Air more than the Pros. And this comparison, not many people are doing. People are comparing the Pro to the Air, but not really the Pro to the Pro Max. And I think especially this year, there's been less of these videos around comparing the Pro and the Pro Max, just because people are so engrossed, have been so captured by the Air model this year. But I feel like if you have always been a Pro user, most likely this year you're still going to be a Pro user. And even though the Air is really nice and a lot of YouTubers are trying out the Air, if you notice, a lot of them actually have a Pro or Pro Max alongside the Air. They're not actually using just solely the Air. So that's something just really interesting to know. So this video is going to be talking about the Pro versus the Pro Max, the 6.3 inch Pro versus the 6.9 inch iPhone 17 Pro Max. Which one should you buy? Which one is right for you? And yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about. I actually have used both. I've tried out both phones. I've spent time with both. I originally had the Pro, and this is the one I unboxed. If you haven't seen that video, I've unboxed all three colors of the iPhone 17 Pro. I had this for a little while, used it for a little while, then I felt interested in the Pro Max because I had the 16 Pro and I felt like I wanted to change this year. So I tried out the 17 Pro, picked it up about a week and a half ago, and I've been using it since. So I've had time with both devices, and so I feel like I can actually discuss it and talk about it properly a month on now from the original iPhone release date. So let's start with the design and build. And guys, just looking at them together side by side, you can see obviously the iPhone 17 Pro Max is a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger compared to the Pro model. There's a significant difference there in the screen real estate there, and you're going to actually feel it in your hands, but also you're going to reap the rewards as well. You're actually going to get a bigger screen, so when you're watching content and things like that, you're going to have a nicer and bigger screen to watch that on. But we're going to come to that in the screen size section of things. In this one, we're just going to be talking about the actual design and build. Just check it out, guys. You're getting obviously a bigger body with the Pro Max, and you're getting obviously bigger speakers as well. And in terms of the camera and everything like that, it's exactly the same. There's no change there, but it's the same build. It's that aluminium unibody design which Apple have brought out this year, with the ceramic shield back glass and the ceramic shield front glass as well, which is now stronger and actually anti-reflective as well. I do have screen protectors on my screens here, so you're not going to notice that as much, and they are glossy screen protectors. But yeah, you're not going to notice that as much, but there is an anti-reflective coating on the screens of the iPhone 17 Pro series. If we now look at the battery life, and in terms of the battery, the Pro Max has a bigger battery. There's no two ways about it. It has a massive battery, just because obviously it has a bigger body to actually fit that battery in. It's going to have more milliamps in this compared to this. I think the eSIM version actually has more than 5,000 milliamps of battery. These are the SIM version, the physical SIM versions, because I do live in the UK. So these are the actual physical SIM versions. And so they're not going to have the full capacity which you guys maybe in the US, or if you're using an eSIM somewhere in the world, which you're going to have. But essentially, you're still getting a bigger battery in the Pro Max compared to the Pro. But something really, really weird with the Pro is that I'm actually finishing my days with more battery compared to the Pro Max. And I think that's due to two reasons. I think it has less of an immersive screen, just because obviously you have a bigger screen with the Pro Max. I don't want to be on my screen as much as the Pro Max. So in a way, it's helping that sort of, addiction in a way, phone addiction, which a lot of us have, that we're looking at our screens all day. And in terms of, you don't want to be on your screen all day when you have a smaller screen. It's just not as immersive as this. And also, this most of the time stays in my pocket, whereas the Pro Max was uncomfortable in my pocket. So I'd take it out, put it on a surface, and it'd be, easier to reach out for it just because it's just lying there on a surface. So there's that as well. There's also another reason, is the fact that the Pro Max's battery is powering a bigger screen, whereas the Pro has a smaller screen. So the battery is being used less compared to the Pro Max. So there's that too. So I find myself this is very, very weird, but I think due to maybe a combination of all of those reasons, all those three reasons, I'm actually ending the day with more battery life on the Pro compared to the Pro Max. So that's one thing to note, but that's not going to be the case for maybe a lot of you guys. You probably still may actually get more battery life out of the Pro Max. That's just, I don't know, that's just something weird I've noticed. But there's not a massive difference, not as a bigger difference as there is on paper. So just keep that in mind, guys. In terms of battery life, I would say there's a negligible difference. There is a difference, but I'd say it's not as big as you would expect it to be. Let's move on now to the feel in the hand. And the feel in the hand, obviously, this is a bulkier device. And I felt like because I've got bigger hands, this would actually suit me better. And for the first like day or so, did actually suit me better. But as the days went on, after like 2 or 3 days, I could actually feel the weight in the hand, the bulk in the hand. It wasn't as compact, obviously, as the Pro, and it wasn't as comfortable of an experience using this phone on a daily basis as the Pro. The Pro is just so much more compact in the hands, and just navigating around web pages, around apps and things like that. It's just this is more of a one-handed phone. Obviously, once you slap a screen protector and a case on it, it's less of a one-handed phone. You do still have to use this now and again two-handed, but I would say it is more of a one-handed phone compared to the Pro Max. This is a beast of a phone. It's absolutely massive. It feels like sometimes like a TV screen in your pocket. That's how big it is, and I don't feel, for me anyway, I don't feel the need to have a screen this big in front of me. It's right in front of me. If it was like maybe 6 feet away, 8 feet away from me, like a TV is, I'd prefer a bigger screen. But I'm right in front of it. I'm holding it in my hands. I'm holding it either in bed or on the couch or on a chair or something like that, or on the sofa, and it's right in front of me. I don't need essentially a TV screen in front of me. I need just a compact phone, which this is a 6.3-inch screen, guys, and this is still plenty big for watching content and things like that. Obviously, not as big as this one, but for me, it's plenty enough. I feel like you don't really need any bigger than this when watching content. That's just me, guys. I feel like watching content on here is a pleasurable experience, and it just weighs your hand down less compared to the Pro Max. So yeah, especially once you slap a case on it, this becomes a lot more bulkier, and a screen protector as well. It just becomes a whole lot bigger. So the feel in the hand and the comfort level, I felt like for a little while was with the Pro Max, just because it suited my hands better. But after like 2 days, I thought I missed the Pro. Just how compact this is, how nice this is to hold in the hand, even compared to the Air, I would say. This is actually gonna be contrary to what a lot of people are saying. I feel like because the screen size is smaller than the Air, the Air is 6.5 inches. This is 6.3 inches. This is smaller, and it has more rounded edges on the back because of that unibody design. I feel like this is actually more comfortable to hold than the Air, which I couldn't say previously. I couldn't say that the SE or the 16E was less comfortable to hold compared to the Pro. But this Pro model is so comfortable to hold in the hands, and just how compact it is. You can reach all corners easily with this screen size. It's just a really, really nice experience using the 6.3-inch Pro model. So in terms of the feel in the hand, I've got to give it to the Pro. The Pro Max is just a little bit too big for me. It's a little bit too bulky. I can make it work, but I feel like this is ideal. This size here is just ideal. I love holding the Pro. It's a nice compact size, and it fits brilliantly in the palm of your hand. And as I mentioned, reaching corners and things like that is a lot easier on the Pro compared to the Pro Max. In terms of looking at the screen size now, guys, and obviously you are getting a lot bigger screen on the Pro Max compared to the Pro. And you're going to notice a difference when looking at web pages. You're going to see a lot more information on here compared to here. And if you just go down here, and if we compare the same frame here, it's actually not a massive difference. If you have a look at that, you can see everything is sort of scaled down here, and things are obviously have a bigger resolution here. But in terms of the amount of information on the screen, there's not a massive difference. You can see maybe a couple of lines more on the Pro Max, but this is still not bad at all. There isn't an incredible amount of difference in terms of the information you see on the screen. And in terms of like watching content, so guys, if we have a look at a couple of my videos here, Let's play them, and let's just see the difference in terms of watching content. The difference here is in terms of watching content. If you have a look at both of those, because of the actual scaling of YouTube and things like that, you're not actually seeing a whole lot more on the Pro Max. So if you look at the difference in the content, because of the scaling, sure, you're seeing maybe a wider picture here, but in terms of the actual picture here, there's not a whole lot of difference going on. But yeah, if you have a look at them, both of them here, you're not actually seeing a lot more content on the Pro Max compared to the Pro. So contrary to what we normally think in terms of you're going to get a better experience watching content on the Pro Max versus the Pro, you're seeing very minor sort of increases in how much content you can see on the screen. And I would say that the Pro is showing just enough content on the screen, and the experience watching content on the Pro isn't significantly worse compared to the Pro Max. So in terms of watching content, I would say there's not a whole lot of difference there either compared to even just like how we saw on the BBC News channel. There wasn't actually didn't actually see a whole lot more content on the Pro Max, even though the screen size is a lot bigger. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. So as you could hear there, guys, I think you guys tell me what you think in the comments down below. But I feel like for the size of it, for the 6.3-inch size of it, it has got really good speakers, and I feel like they're more bassy compared to the Pro Max. The Pro Max definitely has louder speakers, just because of the bigger body, and obviously they can fit bigger speakers in here. But I feel like this has more of a crisp sound, has more of a bassy sound as well. And I feel like the sound coming out of the Pro sounds better compared to the Pro Max. The Pro Max speakers have excellent speakers. Don't get me wrong, and have really loud speakers as well. But I feel like I prefer the speakers on the 6.3-inch, which is really weird, strange to say. I just like the way the sound comes out of the Pro, and because it's a smaller body, it just comes out a bit. You can actually feel it in your hands because of the small body. You can feel the vibration, the bass in your hands when you're listening to it, and I like that feeling of when I'm listening to music or something in the palm of my hands. I can actually feel the music in the palm of my hands, which I do like about it. So in terms of the speakers, you know, it's going to come down to personal preference, but I prefer the speakers on the 6.3-inch. They don't get as loud as the Pro Max, but they get loud enough for what I use it for on a daily basis, like listening to music in the shower, or listening to music, you know, in my car, or just listening to music in this studio itself. So those are my uses for it, and for me the Pro is absolutely fine and really good quality. So not much difference in the speaker quality. Both are studio quality speakers. They both are stereo speakers, and they are excellent speakers. Now moving on to the last point, guys, and its price. And there's only a $100 difference between the Pro Max and the Pro, and the extra features you're getting with the Pro Max, like the bigger speakers, the bigger battery life, the bigger screen, may be worth $100. So if you do like those things, if you are buying the iPhone for those things, then the Pro Max is a no-brainer. It's only $100 difference, so go for the Pro Max. But if you do like the compact size of the Pro, and you are really, on a tight budget or something like that, then the Pro is $100 less. And for me, it wasn't too much about the price, really. It was more about just the comfort in the hands and just how comfortable it is to use on a daily basis. A mobile, as they say, is meant to be mobile. And a more compact phone is the phone which I prefer. It's easier taking in and out of my pocket, storing in my pockets. It's easier just handling on a daily basis. It's easier, watching Instagram Reels, watching YouTube videos with this smaller size. And in terms of typing, I'd say typing is probably a bit easier on the Pro Max just because you have a bigger keyboard, but you can make the size bigger on the Pro as well. So if that is something that bothers you, you can also do that as well. But it's not a massive difference. And for me, the benefits just outweigh the drawbacks having the Pro Max. It's just a lot easier handling it on a daily basis, and I prefer the 6.3-inch size. So this is the one I'm gonna be actually. This is going to be my daily driver. The Pro 6.3-inch Pro is going to be my daily driver. I have spent some good time with the Pro Max, but I just feel like it's not for me. It's just too big. Even with the 6.7-inch iPhone 15 Pro Max, that was 0.2 inches smaller than this, and I felt that was a bit too big. And this especially, this is even bigger. This is Apple's biggest iPhone, and I feel like this is for me a bit too big to have as my daily driver. This for me is a lot more comfortable and just a lot more easier using this on a daily basis, a lot more of a pleasurable experience to use on a daily basis. So those are my views, guys. Not a lot of people are talking about this comparison, the Pro and the Pro Max, so I thought I'd give my views, and the people who are doing it are giving the pros and cons and just saying it's up to you at the end. It's true, it's up to you, but I want to give my view as well, is that I prefer the Pro size. I like this size, and a month later, this is my decision to sort of keep the Pro. And most likely I'm going to be returning the Pro Max or keeping it as a camera for this channel, because it does have a really nice selfie camera, upgraded from 12 megapixel to 18 megapixel this year. So it may be staying as an extra camera for this YouTube channel. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, drop it a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I'd really appreciate that. So see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye.